came with style. It's about to get wild. Let the ratings roll. Yeah. Let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins. Like a story told. People went through the speakers. Shaking up your soul. Yeah. We're Lunatik Raider. Always on the road. On the strip like some insights. Navigate the night. Truth in every state, pen and bitch is so right. Love with a brand new secret. Yo, no, listen to the soul star. Pull your woman that you can't ignore. The heart of Vegas need. The voice you can't ignore. Let the ratings roll. Yeah, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins. Like a story told. Yeah. People went through the speakers. Shaking up your soul. The Lunatik Raider Show. Always on the road. Skylights in the desert. Feel the rhythm of the beat. We're setting in the stage. Making history in the heat. Voices rise and fall. In a city that never sleeps. Yeah. The Raider Show keeps spinning. The secrets Vegas keeps. Let the Raiders roll. Let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins. Like a story told. Yeah. Keep moving through the speakers. Shaking up your soul. Yeah. The Lunatik Raider Show. Always on the road. The city like splash me, right with the biggest night news on the radio. About to hit another high, everything you wanna know. But the scoop make it fast. To facts tight, gotta make this moment last. We bring and go, half strip like in the candy with style. It's about to get wild. Let the ratings roll. Yeah, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins. Like a story told. People went through the speakers. Shaking up your soul. Yeah, we're Lunatik Raider. Always on the road. On the strip like some insights. Navigate the night. Truth in every state, pen and bitch is so right. Love with a brand new secret. Yo, no, listen to the soul star. Pull your woman that you can't ignore. The heart of Vegas need. The voice you can't ignore. Let the Raiders roll. Yeah, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins. Like a story told. Yeah. People went through the speakers. Shaking up your soul. The Lunatik Raider Show. Always on the road. Skylights in the desert. Feel the rhythm of the beat. We're setting in the stage. Making history in the heat. Voices rise and fall. In a city that never sleeps. Yeah. The Raider Show keeps spinning. The secrets Vegas keeps. Let the Raiders roll. Let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins. Like a story told. Yeah. Keep moving through the speakers. Shaking up your soul. Yeah. The Lunatik Raider Show. Always on the road. The city like splash me, right with the biggest night news on the radio. About to hit another high, everything you wanna know. But the scoop make it fast. To facts tight, gotta make this moment last. We bring and go, half strip like in the candy with style. It's about to get wild. Let the ratings roll. Yeah, let the truth unfold.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
Rise, my nation. Gather around and prepare. Our pride will be restored. Our shadow will fall with wicked damnation. Rise, my nation. Rise. This is your nation. This is our nation. This is the Raider Nation. Can you dig it?
What is the deal, Raider Nation, man? Welcome to the Lunatik Raider Show. Yes, indeed, man. Hey, we got good content for you today. We're gonna take a little in-depth look into the potential GM hire. For those that don't know, we're looking at John Spytek of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who was the assistant general manager there. Had a stint. He's been in Detroit. He was in the front office with the Denver Broncos when they won Super Bowl 50. So he has 2 Super Bowls under his belt as a scout, and then working his way into the GM ranks. We're going to do a little breakdown on him as well as his bio, and then there's an interview that was done with him with Tampa Bay to get you an inside look of his ideology of approaching draft and evaluating players and what got him into, doing what it is that he do. Former player at Michigan, good friends with Tom Brady. From those days. It's a lot to, and matter of fact, was one of the most important persons involved in bringing Tom Brady to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they won Super Bowl 55. So we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna also take a look at the Detroit fan base. They're coming from their angle as far as looking at Ben Johnson possibly becoming our next head coach. I'm telling you, the stars are lining up. Tom Brady got a grip. He got a death hold on it. A death grip. He got a death grip on this situation. It's funny to hear that, but this man, it seems he knows what he's doing, and he has a lot of connections. And I'm going to break down some more connections to y'all as well. But, man, shout out to the world's most dangerous chat, man. We are up in here this afternoon. Man, and y'all are deeper than Atlantis, man. Salute to y'all, man. There's only one nation. You know how we get down with the get down. So let's get down, shall we? Shout out to my guy, Robert Pena in the building, man. Salute to you. Who else we got up in here, man? We got Graham Cam in the building, man. You know what it is, bro. Yes, exactly. Navy vet, my dude, man. Hey, salute to you. Hope all is well. For real. You feel me? Let me see, go up in here. 51 time, man. Yeah, you guys are active up in here, for real. Sacktown Raider Mike, man. My dude, man. Salute to you. Hope all is well, and I hope everything is going well with the fam, man. For real. Yes, sir. Well, we got Fear Raider in the building, man. Salute to you as well, man. It's a pleasure to have you here. Got a good show for y'all, man. I know y'all been hearing a little news coming around as far as the interest. We'll get into it. We're going to dive into it. Let me get to y'all. Y'all more important than anything because y'all what makes this nation go. You know what I mean? Let me see who else we got up in here. Y'all ain't even active, man. I gotta get caught up. Man. How the hell I'm going to get caught up and y'all so far ahead? Huh? Raider Knight in the building, man. Salute to you. Pleasure to have you here, man. If y'all have not done so, man, we are 5 away from 2,000. 2 racks, 2 stacks. Give it up. Give it to me. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Hey, thank y'all. SoCal Sal, my dude in the building, man. Salute. Pleasure to have you here, man. You already know, man. I rock with the usual. But then there's new people always invited as well. You know what I mean? Hey, and those that don't know, once we hit 2,000 subscribers, I will be doing 2 custom jersey giveaways. 2 custom Raider jerseys. Whatever name, whatever number, whatever size, whole world way, black or white, Lunatic got you, man. Stay tuned. We're damn near there. For real. Raider Paul in the building with the Raiders. You already know, man. Actually, downtown. Let's see, what did you say? I don't know. All right, man, I'm trying to roll down and see man, shout out to everybody on Instagram too. Yes, indeed, man. Instagram, Twitch. We on X, formerly known as Twitter. Yes, indeed, and YouTube, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all just don't know. Lord Rachita's in the building, man. Salute. Hope all is well with you this afternoon. Yes, indeed. Let me see. Fuck the chokers and donkeys. Hey, bruh, it was a beautiful weekend. It was a beautiful weekend. They was talking all that shit. And look at them now. Uh-huh. 1, 2, 3, everybody. Cancun. All right, let's go. Shout out to everybody out there, man. I'm rolling down, catching up, y'all. Just bear with me. I really want to get into this show. The show gonna be good. Mike G in the building, man. Salute to you, my brother. Top of the afternoon. Yes, indeed, man. We have moved to the afternoon. For those that don't know, it's better for me, bro. I can finally get some sleep. I can finally come home and get some sleep, bro. You know what I mean? And give you a high quality show. Informative, entertaining. You know my saying, man. Like I say. Salute to the nation, man. Like I say, without you, there's no me, and without us, there's no nation. There is only one nation, and that is the Raider Nation. Yes, indeed, man. Okay, I think I might got everybody up here. I'm gonna go down, rolling down. Raider Rebel in the building, man. Salute. Top of the afternoon to you, my brother. Hope all is well. Let's see. Hey, bro, you already, Sacktown, you already know, bro. This is what the nation do, bro. Like I said, we may have differences of opinion, but I'm not one to overlook someone's hardships. You know what I mean? So it's like we all stand together. So you know what I mean? The nation can come together. That's all I said. We can stand together. We had to come together to stand. You feel me? But it's all good, bro. It's nothing. This is what we do. And this is how it's supposed to be done. You know, other people, content creators, may have underlying intentions. You know what I mean, of why they do this. I do this because this is my squad, this is my team. And if this is my team, I done rubbed elbows with so many Raiders fans through life that I'd have met a lot of solid people that otherwise I wouldn't even have got a chance to even run into. You know what I mean? So the nation does that. The nation does that. So hey, hold on real quick. All right, y'all. Yeah, that I just had a call from my girl. She got prayers out to my girl, man. She had to get back surgery, so she feeling it. Wait till they pump her with the drugs, boy. Hey, yeah. It's gonna make me feel like, yeah. She was like, dang, I was higher than Giraffe Gucci. But yeah, I hope you get better, babe. All right. Let me make sure I got everybody out here, man. We good. Jack Ken in the building. My God, Jack Ken in the building, y'all. Salute. Talks to you, man. I'm ready to dive into the show, man. I'm trying to be caught up with that. I think I might be caught up down. All right, here we go. Now, we know the main candidate that a lot of people is mentioning is Ben Johnson. We heard a little side chatter about Deion Sanders. I don't think that's going to be even a realistic target. To be honest with you, she might end up in Dallas now that, Dallas and their head coach decided to split ways. So now that spot is available. Oh, and then we were talking about John Spytek, was the assistant general manager of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, longtime Tom Brady friend, been in this business for a while and made some great stops and did some great things. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk about him more in depth. But first, what I want to do is I want to get into. Let me get this down right here. First, what I want to do is I want to cover Ben Johnson a little bit more. We know as far as the love affair we have, Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, great mind when it comes to offenses. Went through the ranks with Joe Philbin in Miami, was there for 7 years. I think he's been with Detroit for the past 2 years as offensive coordinator. And once I told y'all, before Brady was even voted on by the league to the okay his minority purchase of the Las Vegas Raiders, he's on the broadcasting staff at Fox. There were the first 6 games of the season. He was not approved yet, so therefore he still can attend the pregame production meetings, which allow the broadcasters to question players, coaches, and GMs and all that. When they have a good sit-down meeting, they ask about their, philosophy, how they approach the game, the kind of offense, defense they may run, just the mental aspects, almost like an informal interview. Brady was in on that. So I know Brady, and everything that I'm hearing behind the scenes is Brady is a brilliant football mind. That's why I kind of say he comes off that line of how Al Davis was. Because remember everything. X's and O's is that's what they consume. That's what they breathe. You know what I mean? So people like that, they really love this. And it seems that Ben Johnson is one of those guys. And John Spytek is also one of those guys who eats, sleeps, and shits football. You know what I mean? Tom Brady is him. That's why I think the meeting between Tom Brady and Ben Johnson went off so well, because both of them have that mindset, and there's nothing like meeting somebody who see things and understand things the same way you do. It's just instant connection. So you guys can just sit there and just chop it up, bam, 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 and it's not time will come off the clock so quick. You'll be like, damn, we had a 5-hour interview. You don't remember, because you're so into the conversation and knowing that y'all talking football and y'all love and play this shit. And Spytek did play football at Michigan, played mostly special teams, but he was, I think, a tight end, a defensive. He played both sides, but mostly on the special teams. But his interview I got for you, I took portions of it to break down how he got into being a scout at first. I think he's getting his master. He got his master's in I think in doing general manager type work. So he does have the schooling, but then the experience also comes along too, with him being with Denver, winning Super Bowl 50 there, and then also being with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where he was a very integral part of bringing Tom Brady over to win Super Bowl 55. So he got a couple of Super Bowls under his belt. So he knows what it smells like. He knows what it looks like to have a successful organization, and he knows how to approach the analytics side as far as analyzing talent and seeing, do they fit whatever team he's with, because he's going to talk about with Tampa Bay, what they look for to kind of, you know what I mean? So we're going to get into all of that now. I'm going to show y'all once again, from the Detroit side of how they see the Raiders getting Ben Johnson and how they don't like it, and they think the league needs to stop it. Maybe tongue in cheek, but the fear is there, because they say when you get two brilliant minds like that together, watch your ass. So without further delay, man, we're going to get into this. This is what Detroit sees with Ben Johnson possibly joining the Raiders. Enjoy.
At the end of the day, Ben's going to be hired by someone. Whoever gets this genius is going to be placing a lot of trust in a very young, unproven head coach. So is Sean McVay, right? At one point, so is Dan Campbell. Maybe not as young, but unproven. Maybe. Ton of upside with Ben Johnson. Ton of upside. But at the end of the day, these teams, the NFL, they cannot allow Ben Johnson and Tom Brady to be cooking it up in Vegas, because you're going to see what a true masterclass is when those two get together. So
So the fear is there. They understand, and this is not. See, it's different when you're within the nation and you do like this, the potential of Ben Johnson coming here, and that's what you want. It's okay to be. You're going to be biased, but to get someone who's seeing a possible coaching member leave them to go team up with Tom Brady in Vegas, and they know the potential of that. Is very, very scary when you have two intellectuals on the same page to make things happen. Now, the other aspect of that is some people may think that Ben Johnson wants his own GM. But what I think he wants is a GM that they all can see the same picture. And Spytek is that dude. Spytek is his turn. He only had one interview so far with the Tennessee Titans. I have not heard of any other team interviewing him. That's kind of let me know, bruh, if it goes down this road, it's gonna go down that direction because this is Tom Brady's guy, and this guy's been groomed to be a hitter. You know what I mean? In that front office, it's his turn, and I don't see no other candidates coming in and taking over. Now you could possibly mention old boy Witt, Detroit, but here's the thing. You remember I told you, and this is what I alluded to earlier. Tom Brady had the luxury in the first 6 weeks to be able to have production meetings, pregame production meetings before the broadcast of the games they did. 2 of the games in the last 3 weeks of the seat or week 4 and week 6. Let me tell you who Tom Brady. In week 4, Tom Brady was one of the announcers with the Eagles versus Bucks. Tom Brady did not have the stipulations on him yet to keep him from going to production meetings because he was not approved of being a partial owner yet. See, this is why I tell y'all this is very key. Nobody's telling you this. So you basically had Tom Brady with an initial interview, which is a loophole because of his stature with Fox and not yet being approved of buying a team to keep him from going to production meetings. So he was in on the production meetings in week 4 when Eagles played Bucks because that's who he was doing commentating for. So let me see. Who could he have met with the Bucks? We know that another name that came up for a coaching possibility is Liam Cohen, who's the offensive coordinator with the Bucks. So I know he sat down and talked with him. Oh, but what about his buddy John Spytek? Exactly. And this is before Tom Brady knew AP wasn't fired yet. Telesco was still here, but yet they still had to conduct these pregame broadcasting meetings, asking all kind of questions about football and their approach and their system and their scheme, and basically an informal interview. So those are 2 that he knocked out the park in week 4. Week 6, the last week he was able to be in those production meetings because that was on, let's see, he announced the Cowboys-Lions game week 6 on October 13th. It was October 15th that the league okayed the purchase of Tom Brady's minority portion of the Las Vegas Raiders, which then the stipulations hit him. Once he was approved, no longer can you go to production meetings. Well, guess what? The production meetings was 2 days earlier before you got okayed. So he was in on the meeting with the Cowboys versus Lions that he commentated on. Therefore, he sat down with an Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator, and a Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator. If there was also a potential GM hire coming from the front office of Detroit, he talked with them too. This is how the production meetings work. This is what happens. The announcers get all the tidbits of information, so while they're broadcasting, they can bring up, oh, during our meeting yesterday. Notice you'll hear a lot of commentators say that. During our meeting yesterday, and everybody didn't know about the meetings. The meetings are when you have a big powwow, and you get to break down and get into the mind of these coaches to see how they coach and what's their philosophy behind what they do. That is that's the same thing you're going to ask them when you have an interview. What's your approach on offense? Then you might start talking plays. Well, if you ran this play, or if the defense is running this, how do you know what I mean? They get into football, and somebody like Tom Brady knows this shit. He's going to talk more about football than the other color, what they call them, a color analyst that's just gonna talk, you know what I mean, that does not really know football, but he's a main broadcaster. So when they do their pairings, they like to grab former players and put them with present broadcasters because one knows the ins and outs of football itself, while the other one knows how to announce it, what he's seeing at that time. So Tom Brady is that guy that knows the football and will ask those questions in these meetings, getting all kind of tidbits of information. So Ben Johnson already went through an interview with Tom Brady in October. Spytek, which he doesn't need to be interviewed, but I wouldn't doubt it. Well, like I said, Tom Brady didn't know at that time that AP and Telesco was gone. Not in week 6. Not in week 6. You know what I mean? So you figure that early in the season, we didn't even really know what direction we were going because we had 2 wins already. We beat Cleveland and we beat Baltimore. So that looked like we were on the up and up. So I know that information is already jotted down in a journal or something. So Tom Brady is basically is able to give these guys 2 interviews. That's the Tom Brady cheat code. The cheat code that no other team, none of the 31 other teams has this. They don't have former great players that bought into their organization and that's commentating and at the games can ask questions to these players and personnel without being oh, you can't do that. Brady got in there first. Now, if all these games between Detroit and Tampa Bay came after week 6, then hands off. But best believe, just because he can't criticize the referees no more, he can't go to the meetings no more, he definitely can't bet on football. There's a lot of shit they struck him down with. Now that you're a part owner and an announcer, you can't do none of this shit. He's the only one in NFL broadcasting, whether it's Fox, CBS, Peacock, ESPN, Prime. He cannot go to none of the meetings no more. But you did it too late because the first 6 weeks he was in there and already have a wealth of information to know exactly what he's dealing with these potential candidates of the Raiders. The Raiders got a cheat code. Let's go. Now let's continue on. I'm getting juice because I'm telling you, we lucked out on that shit. We lucked out. It's just so happened that Tom Brady got the big, and this was the first year he started doing commentating. So I know he had a lot in sitting up there talking football with these guys, just chopping it up. You know what I mean? And start seeing, man, I like this dude. Ben Johnson, that is, or Aaron Glenn, whoever he had the conversation with that really blew him. But I heard that the interview with Ben Johnson, both ways, they both were impressed. So Tom Brady, just alone, his name alone is grabbing the attention of some of the next potential. I ain't gonna say he's elite yet. Ben Johnson's not elite yet, but we see what he's doing with that offense in Detroit. And our Achilles heel is not being able to score, and they're averaging 33 points a game. Top 3 in offense. If only we could have a top 3 offense and have a defense doing its thing, because we were what 12? What we top 12, top 10 in defense this year before the injuries and stuff. We were solid. But imagine you have a top 3 offense to match with that. Well, Lunatic, we ain't got no quarterback. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. You know what? Let's get into it now. So, and a lot of people mention this too, and I feel like it's a perfect situation. I told y'all this Friday night. Those who tune in, if you have not done so, subscribe, hit that like, y'all. I'm bringing it to you raw and uncut. This is all I'm going to do for y'all. I'm going to bring it to you. Just connect the dots. Just ride along. Let's go down this rabbit hole with me. All right. If Ben Johnson gets the head coaching job of the Raiders, Ben Johnson is the offensive coordinator for the past 2 years with Detroit. Detroit's backup quarterback is Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker came out of Tennessee, had over a 70% completion percentage coming out of college. Only him and C.J. Stroud that year had that. Over 70%. Now, could the Raiders trade for him? Yes. Would it be a high draft pick? Won't be a first. I doubt it'd be a second. He was taken in the 3rd when he came out, even though he's 27 years old, but he has a wealth of experience in college. He happened to go down with a MC or an ACL. So he sat out the first year, but the last 2 years, he's been solid. He played in preseason this past year. But here's the beauty. Here's another thing that we get if you do trade for a Hendon Hooker. He's been in that offensive system for 2 years already. He does not need to learn the playbook. He can help the receivers and tight ends with the Brock Bowers. So that means we don't have to use a number 1 pick on a quarterback. You can use that on a number 1 wide receiver. Give Hooker everything he needs. He has the tight ends. Jacoby Myers, solid. And if you don't want to go wide receiver at 6, take Genty. Fuck it. Since we know Ben Johnson loves a 2-back system, Genty will be one of them. Or you don't even have to go running back that high, I don't believe, because there's running backs in this draft that will be there later. Scatterbo is the name that keep popping up from Arizona. Old boy from Kansas. You know what I mean? You got Iowa. You got running backs in here. And since we're going to if we go to a 2 running back tandem, boy. And snatch a number 1 wide receiver. You could do that in the first 3 rounds of this year's draft. We have 4 picks. 4 picks. The third round, 2 picks that allow you to be able to maneuver and move back into the first if need be. But if you already have a quarterback that knows the system and been in it for 2 years, and he comes along with his OC to become head coach, what's the learning curve? He's already 2 years ahead of everybody on his team. Now, some people might say, "Oh, he'll be a no, he's not going to just hold it down until we find a quarterback." I think because he's mobile, he has an arm, he's been in the system. I think they grooming him the same way that Green Bay groomed Love. Let's just say it like that. He's sitting on the bench learning. And I think that would allow us to keep our draft picks and go to other positions and target that as well. Because we don't have to spend a draft pick on a quarterback. But will Detroit let him go? They got their quarterback. Why not? If you give him I'll say it's hard to say what his value is because he's been sitting for 2 years. And the only reason why he was a 3rd round pick is because of the ACL tear. If he was never injured, Hendon Hooker would have been probably a 1st round pick. Because I know he better than Richardson. Come on. I know he's better than Will Levis. Coming out of college, he was better. He just got injured. But now he has a 2 full year recovery under his belt. I'm telling you, that might be the way to go. All right, so let me continue on, man. Shout out to everybody that's here watching. Appreciate y'all, man, for real. Hit that like button if you don't do anything else. All right, so next up, okay, we talked about the Detroit side of how they analyze and look at us if we get Ben Johnson. They feel like, not literally, but, tongue in cheek, the league needs to stop this from happening. Putting Ben Johnson with Tom Brady is not fair. Well, guess what's not fair also? I think if you throw John Spytek into the mix, now you got 3 the hard way. The Bermuda Triangle of part owner, GM, and head coach. If you have a very, very great relationship amongst those 3, I know Tom Brady is not the majority owner, but he's a minority owner with a lot to say. So you might as well look at him as being football side of the ball. Tom Brady is the dude now. He's going to represent the owner. Mark Davis ain't involved in this no more. I got this now. That's Tom Brady's job. Let me do the football shit. Mark, handle the business side. I got you. Watch what I do. You get Ben Johnson and you get Spytek together, which all 3 of them, and I think Ben Johnson and Spytek will get along perfectly. Even though that's not a Ben Johnson guy, I think just because of the mentality these guys are. But let me shut the hell up. Let me show y'all, let me break down Spytek for you guys so you can truly understand what this guy brings to the table as a potential GM hire for the Raiders. So without further ado, man, let's get into it. I'm gonna let's go. Hondo Carpenter, he knows a little bit of this situation and he broke it down. So let's go.
John Spytek, who is the AGM with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I, as you know, formerly covered the Detroit Lions. Spytek was there, and at the time was known as the Whiz Kid. He was an intern. He was known as a young man that, even though he was an intern, if they gave him a job and they told him go do 2 things, he did 4. It was, everybody knew this guy is on his way. He's going to be the guy somewhere someday. In fact, I was joking with someone from back in Detroit who obviously worked with John. Today after church, Shannon and I were talking to him on the phone, and we were laughing, just recollecting what he was like. He is extremely thorough, very personable, extremely personable, but not gregarious. Just a very good, solid, salt of the earth guy, an extremely hard worker. Now, he's worked with Holmgren, he's worked with Andy Reid, he's been with Tampa Bay. He was critical in getting Tom Brady to the Buccaneers. He was critical in the development of their personnel, keeping that team competitive, keeping guys around. Now he's the AGM. Him and Brady are very close. And one of the things that impressed Brady with Spytek was that when he talked ball with him, they were on the same page. They thought the same. They looked at things the same. Spytek is extremely analytical. So is Brady. The gentleman that I was talking with today from back when I covered Detroit and he was with Detroit talked about, even as an intern, he saw things people didn't see. And so this is a name that around the NFL, a lot of people believe is probably the leading candidate to be the next general manager of the Raiders. I texted an NFL source, and right after I'd gotten off the phone with the gentleman that had worked with John in Detroit, and this is what I asked the person, "What are you hearing?" He said, "Ben Johnson, Spytek, that's a dream team in Vegas."
A dream team in Vegas. See, people know the intellectual levels of these guys in football. Boy, you put them 3 in a room, God knows what they create. And that's the fear. I know the league right now is fearing that because I know they F the Raiders. They don't like us. Good. Because I know this being in the dumps like we have been in these past couple of decades is it's coming to an end, bro. They're doing it the right way. They got the right guy. A lot of people didn't like Brady, but you got to respect his football mind, his football IQ, and his friendships with others around the league that one day he could have just tapped them and been like, hey, John Spytek, hey, you want a GM job? Bruh. One thing I just want to tell you, I don't know as far as the potential of Ben Johnson even wanting to go to Chicago. Chicago just requested a interview with the Packers offensive coordinator, so they're still seeking and looking for theirs too. I know we got Pete Carroll coming in today. I think that's just a lot of people. Could that be like the second choice if Ben Johnson says no? I don't know. I don't know. But I know it's a good conversation for Brady to sit with a Pete Carroll and pick his mind. See, you know what I mean? Get into his mind and see what's his approach to being a head coach. What Tom Brady never been a head coach. But I know he'll sit there and I'm gonna dig. I'm gonna dig. You feel me? Hey, shout out to everybody that's in here, man. Some more people came up in here. I appreciate Ray Love, my guy in the building. Salute to you, man. Hope all is well. The good stuff is in the building, man. Salute to you. Tragedy turned triumph, man. Salute to you as well. Let me see. I gotta keep it going. Keep it going. We got Jack Tatum. We got Ja Raider in the building, man. Salute. If you put Bucks GM with Ben Johnson, Robert Saleh. It don't even have to be Robert Saleh. You know what I mean? I mean, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator. And you know what I mean? That possibly could be a situation there. Not to lie, but I have not even heard of the names. See, it's crazy. Because this is what I'm thinking. Do you think Ben Johnson would have enough pull? Listen to what I'm gonna tell you. Do you think he has enough pull to bring Aaron Glenn over unilaterally? Does Detroit have to give that okay? Like, well, they would have to get okay, but they did give the Raiders okay to talk to him, but that was as a head coach. But would they allow Robert? Would they allow Ben Johnson to bring an Aaron Glenn with him and make him his defensive coordinator? But that's what he plays now with Detroit. So I don't think a unilateral move would be accepted unless they got somebody that's under him that they believe can bring in. And I know for a fact that I heard also that Ben Johnson also still wants to continue play calling. So if he is the head coach, he will be basically the OC as well. He'll probably have an understudy. Maybe he makes the quarterback coach brings him over from Detroit and makes him the offensive coordinator, even though we know that he'll be the one calling the plays. So there's a lot to dig into. So that I just want to give you an introduction to Spytek. We're not done yet. I got some more breakdowns of him. This is the breakdown of his of what he's accomplished in his career so far, being in front offices and so forth. I want to dig a little deeper. That was Hondo's knowledge of him, and then asking other people within the league that if you get Ben Johnson and Spytek together, that's a dream team. They're building the dream team, bro. So let's continue on, man. This is a little breakdown that I did on John Spytek of his accolades and so forth, coming up in the ranks of being a scout all the way up to being assistant GM. Let's go.
Spytek was born in August 1980 and grew up in Pewaukee, Wisconsin. He attended Catholic Memorial High School in Waukesha, where he played football and was a two-way end, being a starter for 3 years. He was first-team All-League on defense and second-team All-League on offense as a senior. After high school, Spytek attended the University of Michigan, where he played from 1999 to 2002 as an outside linebacker, posting a career high of 18 tackles as a sophomore and finishing with 37 tackles in his collegiate career. He was mainly used on special teams and did not record a start in his tenure with the Wolverines. As a freshman at Michigan, he was teammates with Tom Brady, who was then a senior. Spytek graduated from Michigan with a bachelor's degree in general studies and later received a master's degree in sports management. After developing an interest in scouting, Spytek began his career in 2004, working as an intern in the operations department for the Detroit Lions. The following year, he joined the Philadelphia Eagles as an intern for the pro personnel department. He then served as a college scouting assistant for the Eagles in 2006 before being a college pro scout from 2007 to 2009. He followed general manager Tom Heckert Jr. to the Cleveland Browns in 2010 and was named the team's director of college scouting. He worked 3 seasons for the Browns but was fired following the 2012 season along with Heckert and several other executives. In 2013, Spytek joined the Denver Broncos as a Southwest area scout, and he was promoted the following year to national scout. He was a member of the Broncos' Super Bowl 50 championship team. In 2016, he was hired by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as director of player personnel. He contributed to the team's acquisition of Tom Brady in 2020, who had been Spytek's college teammate more than 20 years prior. The Tampa Bay Times described it as the biggest free agent acquisition in franchise history, and the Buccaneers won Super Bowl 55 that year. He was promoted to vice president of player personnel in 2021. He received another promotion to assistant general manager in 2023.
So that's a breakdown of Spytek. Fidel, hey, you know what? That's exactly my thing about Pete Carroll as well. If Pete Carroll comes over and only does 2 years, who is the guy under him that he's grooming to take over? Ben Johnson is not going to come over here as an offensive coordinator because that's what he's doing in Detroit. So we can't rely on that unless Ben Johnson decides to go back to Detroit and stay there for 2 years, then come take over. But why do it that way? Why not just give it to Ben Johnson and let him, you know what I mean? If you want to grow everybody together, GM and the coach, you got to let them develop that relationship. You know what I mean? So they can be on the same page and really get the Raiders back. Not just back, but back. You know what I mean? You add the right players and get the right coaching. the sky's the limit. So I understand that the angle that Tom Brady is trying to accomplish this. We got one guy who can, because you look at the talent they brought into Tampa Bay, bro. Like Spytek had said before, when they won that Super Bowl, those players, a lot of those players on that team were second-year players. They did a damn good job in that draft, bro. The year before, they did a damn good job. So if he can come here and apply that same pressure and add the players that we need to make this team great again, you feel me? That we'll be back on track. You know what I mean? All right, so here I got one more thing. Here's the interview that Spytek did with with Tampa Bay, as far as hearing his side of how he approached, how he got into it, why he became a scout, a GM, you know what I mean? All that good shit. So we're going to get into that now. We're going to break this down, man, and enjoy this conversation.
Tell everyone out there wondering, how did you get to this role?
Yeah, I like to joke with my wife, for instance, that I played in college and the first person I ever evaluated was myself, and I wasn't good enough. You know, I went to Michigan and there was a lot of really good players back then, and I was kind of like, I don't move like that, I can't run like that, I can't jump like that, I'm not that strong. The idea of becoming a scout was kind of based, I mean, innocently on that enough, but I knew I didn't want to be a coach, and I just kind of saw the game more from a movement, one-on-one. You know, this guy, if I'm watching film, you know, I always joke too, like they're in 21 personnel, the fullbacks, and you know, old school football, the fullbacks in the home position, you know, they line up like this. What are you thinking? And I was like, oh, that fullback's really good. He's going to smash me. And so I knew I wasn't kind of a coach. I didn't see the game that way, but I really kind of felt like I had this instinct, this sense to see movement in people and effort and intelligence as a player. And you know, again, when I signed up to be a scout, I didn't really know what I was getting into, but I knew I didn't want to be a coach, and I knew I didn't want to lead the game of football. I grew up in the college side of scouting, which, you know, we're in draft season right now, and you know in the college side that you have this date in the future. It's sometimes very far in the future, but it's April 28th, right? And all your work kind of leads up to that point, and there's kind of a cadence to it. When I got this job, and you start with the day-to-day roster transactions and the preparation of the season, the advance reports, and the immediacy of that, and how fast you have to have answers to tough questions. Who's going to replace Vita when he went down, you know, 2 years ago in 2020? I mean, how are we going to fix this hole that we have? And you kind of come up with all these things, and some of them are practical and some of them aren't. But you know, basically, we have a brainstorming session, and how if you are good at that, the supplementation of the roster because of the attrition that happens, you know, you could kind of push you forward and ahead of a lot of teams that don't do it as well. So it's definitely one of the most challenging parts of our jobs in scouting, and something I don't think gets talked about very much. You have to be a good evaluator, one. I mean, you have to be able, like our college guys, our pro guys can look at pro tape all day and they can see what's playing in Atlanta or New Orleans or in Green Bay and say like, oh, this guy's kind of like that. It is hugely important for us to bring the right kind of people into this organization. And I think that's really where we've hit our stride here lately, is an understanding of what a Buccaneer looks like, what we want a Buccaneer to be. You know, and it's Jason's job, it's my job, it's Mike Beal's job from a draft standpoint to communicate to our scouts that this is what we're looking for. These are the things that we want our guys to have or be able to develop. And then it's their task with going out, and they do a fantastic job of finding the right kind of people, going to the schools and asking the right kind of questions, you know, so we can get to the point where we are comfortable with these guys and we have a belief in them that they'll have every opportunity to succeed. Now, the hit rate is 50% in the draft. I mean, I think we're above that lately, and we're trying to stay there. So we would never just use one player as an example, like you missed on this guy, as you know, a litmus test for you're not doing a good job. But there is an expectation that you are right more often than you're wrong on the players, especially when we've all been together long enough now that there's not a lot of learning anymore as to what a Buccaneer needs to be. We do know what a Buccaneer is. So
he knows what it is you need to do to get a team built together in the draft, free agency as well. So that's a good interview that you took from him as far as his approach to everything. And tragedy turned triumph. You don't think Hendon Hooker would come with Ben Johnson to the Raiders? You know, if Hooker stays with Detroit, he will never be the starter, right? You know, Jared Goff is only 30 years old. Hendon Hooker is 27. 3 years difference, bruh. Hendon will never become the starter in Detroit if he stays there. If he wants to be a starter or you give him the opportunity to become a starter, his best bet is if Ben Johnson wants to bring him, trade for him and bring him here. That's just, I'm just saying he was an older dude coming out of college because he spent more time in college. Like nowadays, that's what you're seeing because this transfer portal is allowing a lot of these. Now, there's I'm gonna tell you the flip side of this coin with the transfer portal. You're no longer getting guys, especially just anybody, but you're not getting a lot of quarterbacks that's just going to do 3 years and come out early or 4 years and come out. You're not going to catch any more 21 and 22-year-olds. These guys are transferring. They're spending 6 years in college. You know what I mean? They're not hurting for money, especially if they're a big name, because now they're getting those NIL deals, names, image, and likeness. They're getting these deals, so they got money. So it's not a pressure to come into the NFL anymore. So now you're getting guys that's instead of 21 and 22, these guys are 23 and 24. You know what I mean? So that's why I think Hendon Hooker is not in his best interest to stay in Detroit because Jared Goff ain't going nowhere. He's 30 years old, bro. Right now, they're the top team in the NFC. At least 5 more years left in his career. 35, if not more. If they keep that team, you know what I mean? If they keep doing what they doing with that team, he's gonna be and if they win the Super Bowl this year, and that's my pick. I ain't gonna pick them to win it. I've got them playing Baltimore in the Super Bowl. That's gonna be a dynamic ass Super Bowl if that happens, bro. I'm hoping. You know what I mean? There ain't no Chiefs. Ain't nobody else that we just fucking hate. It's 2 teams that I ain't tripping off of Baltimore. I ain't tripping off of Detroit. Let's just watch them beat the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? But as Raider fans, we're going to be watching Detroit to see what Ben Johnson does play calling wise, which we already seen. The boy pulls out magician plays, and then Aaron Glenn out as well, potential. So we'll see what happens, man. Oh, there's also a candidate on the offensive coordinator from Baltimore that also has been tied with us being interested in interviewing as far as Monken. Todd Monken is another one, which, yes, Tom Monken also was in one of those pregame production meetings with Tom Brady in let me see, what was it? Week 3, Tom Brady met with him too. And like I said, with the Tampa Bay shit, Liam Cohen, he met with him. Hey, Tom Brady already was on top of this, bro. 4 of the potential Raider candidates at coach, Tom Brady didn't talk to in the first 6 weeks when he was allowed to. That's why I said we got the cheat code, bro. We got a jump start on any other team with knowledge of potential candidates with informal interviews. Boy, we are not playing checkers. We are not playing checkers, and we're going to use it to our advantage. Why not? Why would you not use it to your advantage? Oh, Tom, you done talked to him already? Well, what do you think? Well, I think out of everybody I talked to this season, well, only the first 6 weeks, but the next part of the season, he couldn't be in those meetings. But the meetings he was in, is it a coincidence that 4 of those guys were in the meeting with Tom Brady? Out of the 4 first 6 games of the season, 4 candidates Tom Brady didn't already talk to. Wow. Is that a coincidence? I think not. But yeah, man, I appreciate y'all pulling up, man. I'm about to shut this down. I got to hit work tonight. But hey, we're going to be back here. Hey, 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. This is my new app, my new time. It allows me to get the sleep I need, bro. I'll tell you, I work nights. And I ain't no young Mickey Ficky no more. But hey, I can still handle it. You feel me? I can still 2-step with the best of them. Who else we got up here? D-Mokes in the building, man. Salute. Okay, I ain't seen D-Mokes in a minute. Raider Biggs, what it is, man. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up. Shout out to everybody watching, man. Once again, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, man. Leave a comment, share the video. Do all that good shit for your boy. You know what I mean? I try to bring you the best content I can, give you guys a little more information just behind the surface of hearing the names and getting an idea of where they worked at. I want to give you an angle of who they are personally and their travels in the NFL to get to where they are. So I just want to go in depth with it, man. Shout out there. James Furpo, what it is, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for pulling up. But yeah, man, you guys enjoy your Monday. Happy Monday, y'all. Hey, enjoy your Monday. Be safe out there, man. And I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Same Raider time, same Raider channel. It's the Lunatik Raider Show, man, right here on Raiders and Legends, man. And I'll see y'all soon. Y'all be easy. And I'm out this bitch.